Greetings,
You
guys.
too. How you doing? You guys have a bit of a longer segment here.
Boogie,
go
you
ahead.
get more and more Irish every time you talk.
No, it depends. If the games start in the morning, you know, it'd be top morning together. Which is something that actually Irish people never say, so.
Avenger, are you happy?
Except for you.
Are you happy
I'm
and
not Irish.
satisfied with what you saw from the teams in that last match?
Absolutely. What I was most surprised about is actually the C9 vibe of Kenguin. Kenguin pushed up to the guys in the shack here, and Cloud9 defended that very beautifully, taking out all four, only losing one guy.
All right. Well, guys, it's over to you now. I'm looking forward to seeing on what levels this next match delivers.
See ya.
We are as well. Thank you very much, Paula. Thank you very much for the analyst panel there.
The analyst panel is now finished.
Hey, I see what you did there. Hello, Finnish boys. Very nice. Very nice memes indeed. 2K18 is the year when Martin makes a comeback into the comedy world. Watch out for Las Vegas shows. There you go. He's back, baby. Yeah. What do you think, Martin, for this fifth game after the break? Does it feel to you like the boys have mentally disconnected? Because, you know, that 1 hour break, 4 matches before that. Do you feel like any kind of disconnection happened? Or do you still feel that they're at the same kind of burn?
I mean, that's what we talked about earlier. This mentality, like, you're playing a lot of games. It's 9 hours. You're staying in the studio for 12 hours, basically. So this stamina we talked about, it can decline for some teams. And then we're going to see teams as Ronin. Maybe they're stronger stamina-wise, or they're just going to keep the level all the way through, and then they play like this, and then take a win out. So I think we're going to see changes of play, like the qualities of play, but also how they play throughout the day.
True indeed, and there's also a point to be made here in that teams with better comms, with cleaner comms that are more friendly to one another, are usually going to be mentally more prepared for this one, because, you know, when your stress levels are high, you're not going to be able to last that long. So there you go.
Exactly. And yeah.
Okay then.
Welcome, Lothar.
Welcome to that ghost that you saw on the screen. We shall not mention him. He shall not be mentioned, but we will mention that it is the start of the sixth game indeed. The big bad bird is in the sky and it's dropping people left and right. Mid and center here, and it's a very good plane pass. It's a good day for Aaronjaw.
Yeah, we see this plane is going to go straight from Cerveny. It's going to go down towards the military nowhere area. Basically, everybody can pick their area here. We're going to see Navi going to North George, and but yeah, very strong plane here. And I'm just wondering if we're going to see some more changes. And these teams have taken their time in the break to see. Are we going to do something different? Are we going to swap some stuff up? Because there are still some open areas for the teams.
There is some rotationary liberty, let's call it that.
Yep.
At this moment in time, there's still some, well, 16 teams, you know, they do manage to avoid each other for the better part, with the exception of Butts and Something, but Something soon, you know, finds cover. So there you go. That's going to be a short-lived love story. But yeah, generally there's a lot of space in the map where teams could normally go. And you can see Navi have given up on their Primorsk looting area, and now they're going to be going to Nojo, as they have done before in these matches here. But this time around, there's still one guy dropping from Kinguin, as he didn't have a vehicle. That is indeed Larson going on to the south side here. I hope he doesn't get caught off guard by the one guy from Navi that is close to him. Just under him, there's Drainus. Drainus doesn't seem to have any kind of weapons. Shade could, but the Geneva Convention states that you should not take shots at your enemies while they're parachuting. You know why, actually?
No.
Because they cannot have the option to surrender.
Oh.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not know that.
Yes, sir. That's the only reason why you don't.
You know other conventions of military interests? That's very interesting fact coming out straight up.
My ex, I have an embargo, a military-grade embargo on my ex.
No, of course, we're going to see the Kingwin guys going to the usual area. Also, Envy going into the usual area.
Yeah.
And
you know who else is going to their usual area?
No.
Well, you saw him earlier on. It's indeed the Weatherman Lothar.
You know what? I just wanted to be on camera earlier before, you know? That's what happened. Anyway, I actually heard the music this time. It's pretty cool. So, the plane is pretty simple this time. Doesn't really affect many teams. The only team that did change their placement when it comes to the landing was No Loot Gaming, which seems to be bouncing between the Primorsk and the middle of the map. And for some reason, here we go. Now it works. Primorsk, oops, here, and the middle of the map This is the usual two locations that they're dropping. This time they opted for the middle, so they went straight down from the plane. Other than that, other teams are going for the usual locations. We only have seen a small change for Nova, which are now having a small split with one of their guys being a scout, basically already on the other side of well, let's say the map, right? Because they have seen military circles. I assumed that in this case they just want to have one player that is scouting if they have a free road ahead, if they will have to take the bridge. Now, with this kind of circle, there's not really that much to talk about when it comes to the early rotations. But what we can talk about, and we didn't talk about that before, is how it kind of splits the entire map into zones. So first of all, there's a river here in the middle of the circle. As you can see, the land distribution between those parts of the circle are pretty even. So there's not really a lot of incentive to take one of the other side. The only thing that kind of changes is the fact that the southern part of the circle has a high ground that is only accessible to one team. This is one of the zones that can be taken by a team. Then there's South Georgopol, which can be taken by multiple teams because we have a lot of building structures that can just, hold a lot of people inside of it without even taking any kind of, gunfights between them. And then we have another zone that can be very friendly for a lot of teams, and we can probably see that FlyQuest, Optic, maybe even No Loot Gaming, they're gonna just be close to each other in that small green zone and not really do much. Now, the question is what the teams outside of the circle would like to do. And usually what we see in those kind of circles, teams that are coming from the east side of the map, FaZe, Ghost, in this case also Nova, because that applies to them as well, they're going to go in similar positions. They probably would like to avoid the part of the map that would just try to get them into range of other teams. And in this case, they would like to go all around the entire map, avoid any battles, and just go from the less populated side of the map. There's an really influential aspect of the landing that will direct those teams in that direction, since only one team is next to the Severny area. So in this case, it's Lumber Mill, and other teams would have to rotate into that area to kind of mess with their own rotations, and that will be Crimson, which is a team that will probably take this road, which is something that FaZe usually does. And other than that, we have seen also Ronin, who is a team that makes an early rotation. But at the same time, all of the managers, analysts, or whoever is the fifth guy for the team is re-watching the initial very important first rotation and informs the team of what the other teams are doing and what is their habit. So in this case, all the teams have a lot of information from the first few games, and that will probably impact their rotations. That's it for me. Let's go back to the casters.
And go back to the casters. We will indeed. Thank you very much, Lothar. Now, here's a bit of inside info. GLL is the first one to bring you a Weatherman segment. And here's the reason, Martin. Because the initial phase of looting isn't that interesting unless, of course, you see Kaisco pick up an AWM. But that doesn't necessarily happen all the time. But yeah, here's the thing. In PUBG, the pace of the game is much slower. So you have to find ways to kind of keep the chat entertained. So we thought, who do we have that's also intelligent? Martin. Who do we have that's pretty looking? Boogie. But they can't do both of them Weatherman segments, you know what I mean? So we have to find one guy that is smart, that is good looking, that you kind of want to see on your screens. You know, maybe you're tapping your screens a bit too hard there, chat. Calm down a bit. So yeah, we thought Lothar is the perfect addition to that one. So the Weatherman segment fits perfectly to the start of every single match of PUBG when the action isn't that strong. So far, you can see 63 alive, 16 teams up. So we haven't missed any of the action. Everything is good. Chat enjoys the Weatherman segments. I know you guys love them, of course. And look at that one. Is Caden? No, it's not Caden. It's Kaisco that had the AWM. I thought they both have AWM, so I'm envious, but they don't. But yeah, there you go. That's the reason for the Weatherman segment. And GLL are the first ones to bring it to you ever in the world of PUBG esports.
Yep. And as Lothar also said, Ronin made a super early transition here into the northern side. And as Lothar mentioned as well, this is a 50-50 flip off the river. Do you want to go south? Do you want to go north? Some teams are going to probably like Crimson. They're going to take a chill pill until they see the second circle and then make a decision from there, making the transition for them easier.
It will be indeed. Now, let's have a look at King and Miraku getting knocked out by Penta Omega Lol, perhaps, at this moment in time. Shoot to kill are indeed staying true to their name. Larson's going to be close by here. He is, by definition, not only an IGL, but a fantastic clutch player. Let's see if he's able to save his teammate here at the back of that UAZ where he's been knocked out. There is a rest potential, but there's also visibility coming in from the north side of this bridge. And I'm hoping that he doesn't get spotted. Spotted he does get indeed. Larson's going to have to peek behind us. He just can only stand to watch his teammate getting absolutely bodied here. Larson, no way for him to stay alive. And it looks like crates were shooting at him there. In the meantime, actually, Gaxi lost his life from the same player from Shoot to Kill. So Shoot to Kill are absolutely bodying our good gentleman of Kinguin.
Yeah, and I mean, Kinguin here, they had a 2-2 split between the Harry Potter and the flat top here. But Shoot to Kill just decided to breach them and take that flat top super early, and they succeeded super well here. Also, Kinguin getting third-partied by Envy from the crate side, so they lost that player to them, and that kill got stolen. And Larson's in a really hot spot right now.
Yes, he is indeed. And that's an unfortunate thing because the circle isn't necessarily bad for them. It's pretty much a Kinguin circle, and they've already lost one member. So with that in mind, and with the hard position of where Larson is, this is not going to be an easy game for the Kinguin gents, and they were kind of hoping that it would be. But Shoot to Kill, we're quick on this little compound here, which is close to the Death Bridge, as we call it, where the rest of Kinguin are. Larson will try to make his way out, but Adam Diz did hear that nade pop. Oh, that's a missed nade. It could have been perfect there, but it did not hit. Instead, it hit the windowsill. Didn't go in.
Nope.
Oh, that one does.
Go. And Adam Diz dropped to the floor straight off. He heard the nade and just dropped to the floor, and he's
That's
not going to
do.
He's not going to take this. Not on the nade though, but yeah, he did not die from that. Shoot to Kill in a super strong position, just trying to peek it out. Everybody's just everyone's just making their way into taking the decision. He's going to go south, he's going to go north, and then there's the teams fighting for the middle and taking the control of the bridges in compounds like this.
Absolutely. Here's the thing, Larson has somewhat of a cover if his enemies were to push the other side, but they're being smart. They're pushing the opposite side where they cannot be watched from. Larson is going to have to really protect himself here. He's in the open. Here comes Uncivilist, the first one pushing in here. It's going to be Larson knocked out straight up, and Pentalol deals the damage to take him down. That's going to be another man from Kinguin down. And the smoke, that is so disrespectful. Just like, here, are you sure you're dead? Here's the smoke on it, bud.
They're taking some shots.
This is what I think. Yeah, boom, throw smoke.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's. We heard you vape, Larson. So here's some smoke for you, mate.
He does vape.
He does indeed. Envy here, still in a straight good position here. Navi taking a really good position as well on the northern side of the bridge here on the other flat top. Optic has the triple cubes here on the other side of the bridge, also very centered. Kinguin still 2 guys short, I would say, in the Harry Potter, and Rogue has made it to the top of the mountain right now.
Yeah, and this is a place where normally you see NA teams play. You don't see necessarily a lot of European teams play this spot. From what I've asked around, they don't like it because even if they have great 360, their enemies also have 360 visibility on them. So it's a bit of a difficult moment to stay on that top of the mountain there, especially when you have to go out of that position. So Rogue being here is a bit of a surprise element, so to speak. I actually have seen them play here before, but not a lot of times. But I do remember in the first part of the day that we saw NA teams. I think it was Optic that were playing.
Yep, Optic did take it early, and
side, yeah.
I mean, it's a decent position. They're somewhat close to the center, but also they have two bikes, 2 super bikes, and 2 USs, so they can easily transition out from that area.
Talking about transitions, FaZe have made their way north side, close to Crimson.
Yep, FaZe taking the usual rotation here. Mexi is kind of stuck here.
Yep.
And the nearest zone is gonna pop, and it's gonna go away from Mexi at least.
Absolutely, there she goes. So we don't know yet if it's going to be north or south side of the river, which is an important element at this moment in time because there's only a few crossings that you could take your vehicles or walk on. The other ones are swimmy areas, and we all know what happens there as you come out of the water. We saw it last match. Teams get absolutely popped off. Rotations happen, though, and as they do, Gaxy's going to try to put some shots against Woody, trying to get that revenge kill because, well, 2 of his teammates have been killed by Shoot to Kill.
Yeah, Shoot to Kill did indeed take out those 2 guys. We taken out by Hypuck, meanwhile, on the other side of the bridge. So I don't know why he was out there already or that far away, but he did indeed. He was 100 meters away from his teammates. I don't know what he was doing there, but at least still 3 guys standing from Shoot to Kill, and they're still in a decent position to rotate because that's what they have to do right now.
That there indeed. In the meantime, 17 has been spotted himself by Ronan Esports. So he's going to try and smoke his way closer to a vehicle and make it out of there. Perhaps he whiffs it. He fat fingers it, and he's going to go down for it. 17 knocked out by Texas. Texas, what an absolute beast of a player. We've been talking about him. He's just this sheer legend of a man.
Indeed. A legend of a man and a legend of a haircut sometimes as well. He changed his haircut a lot, and he has a fantastic haircut.
Don't talk about haircuts with me, buddy. I'm known to be quite a sad boy.
Quite a haircut-ish man.
Yeah, a little,
No, Ronan here.
Little bump it now and then.
Ronan here taking out Optin, and of course they're in their high heels after that win last game.
Yes, indeed they are. Ronan have extended outside the compound here. It does look like they're going to stick around to put some shots against NLG, but not for too long. In the meantime, they're going to be happy looting 17 as he fell down.
Yep.
And now they're using smokes themselves to try and cover that body and get that juicy loots. Texas will do that. NLG will watch that angle further on. In the meantime, Lumber Mill are trying to dink down the rotation coming in from Crimson. It doesn't look like it's too successful at this moment in time as Crimson have stopped full squad. I'm not too sure of their HP. It's not looking bad. There you go. So Lumber Mill actually... Here's the thing, when the circle is on the north side center, Lumbermill usually are the first ones to the compounds where Crimson are right now.
Yep.
So they're a bit outside of their position, but they also are very familiar with this area as well. Lumbermill, of course, being that team that loots Severny.
Yep.
So they know this spot like the back of their hand.
And Crimson takes this very early also, of course.
True.
Lumbermill, when we get these northern circles, they also take the compound to the west.
Yeah.
But no, they don't wanna lock themselves down all yet.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good circle, but they wanna stay mobile, they wanna stay outside, they wanna make sure they cover a lot of area, and we're still in the second circle only, so we're gonna see the third circle pop, and I think we're gonna see a lot of fighting on the hill and on foot from them.
I think we might indeed. Crimson doing 2+2 as well as Lumbermill here, but Lumbermill do have 2 UAZs close to them, as you can see. Not sure what Crimson do have, but I'm sure they have something to work with here. In the meantime, the circle is indeed strangling as teams have made their way in the safety of it. Most of them, it doesn't seem like anybody's actually outside. Yeah, most of them are actually inside. So that is good news for this game. That means that we're going to have a lot of action happening later on. This is exactly the reason why we have the Weatherman segment, Martin.
This is also a game for survival. So, of course, we're not going to see that many fights in the beginning unless it's unintentional.
Of adaptation.
It is indeed. And obviously, what makes you win games more than getting into late game and surviving in the beginning? Obviously, that is how to win the games here. Kingwin, they're down to 2 guys. They have lost the most. Shoot to Kill lost 1 guy. Optic lost 1 guy. And Knights also lost survivor skills yesterday. When he was out and got food poisoning.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, unlucky for the lad. Yeah, he actually did come back in the second. He tried to get some food. I saw him tweet out that he came back to get something to drink, get something to eat, and he felt sick and went outside to puke. He's gonna go back to the hotel. Hopefully, he'll get better.
Thank you for that update. I will watch my step as I go out of the PGL studio.
Yes, you should.
Yes, indeed, circle will be coming down to a stop, and the next one popping up is going to be, let's see, still 50-50. We don't know if it's going to be on the north or south side of this river that we're looking at here.
Yeah.
Rogue are on the south side as well as Nova. FaZe are going to be coming on the south side as well. Now, they are pretty good at rotations. And look at this, just straight up FaZe things.
Yeah.
Where they're coming in from, absolutely no team is. On the opposite side, so many teams are going to battle for just a little bit of a spot.
Yeah.
That's the smart thing about it, because people praise FaZe a lot for their prowess, which is really, really good, their mechanical skill and all that kind of stuff. But it has to be said, the rotations for FaZe, for the less experienced viewer, are something unique.
Yeah, that's what that's what makes them unique.
Oh no, that was dangerous.
Ronan here taking out 2 NLG guys. Meanwhile, Doc and Coldamenta knocking Outsider, and they're fighting back and forth right now.
Oh, it does seem to be a
2-1
sandwich.
knock right here. A lot of pinches going on still here in the north, even though it's not inside this, or it inside the circle, but not that close to the center though.
Well, it's not. Fights are popping out left and right here. Looks like Butts is going to be taken down indeed. Blue is going to make sure of it. Not the Blue, but Interrogate in the meantime will be taking Outsider as well. So NLG not looking great. Eliminated? No, not yet. They still have 1 man standing. We'll see where that man is later on. In the meantime, though, Ronan and Ghost are at it. But this is not going to be a battle. As you can see, this terrain, like this terraced terrain, will see Ronan be quite safe. Unless Mikoi has a different thought, because right now Mikoi is pushing in there.
He's trying to make a play here. Profin and Mikoi trying to make a aggressive move right now. Meanwhile, shoot to
Oh,
kill.
in the back.
In the back on Yannick, taking some shots here. Not connecting more than one shot though. Adam did here on an aggressive push on.
Adam didn't do.
Adam didn't do anything. But they're gonna try to nade over here, making some aggressive plays. Yannick is the last guy here from Rogue, so he's gonna put himself into the water. I think that the rest of Rogue, they have made it into the water town. So they are 4 guys strong, but Yannick was the last guy to move out of this.
True. Indeed, on the back rotation left as anchor point, not doing great. In the meantime, Optic seemed to have taken one of the guys from Envious down, whilst another one has been knocked as well. So it's 2 strong Envious to have to push right now. And it's not easy for them. Jesse, Lol as well, getting killed. There's 3 guys remaining, out of which 1 is indeed knocked. Puck Molodoi as well, as his teammates are still playing on the outside here, waiting to capture anybody that is coming in against them. But it does look like teams are effectively avoiding them at this point in time, whilst Kaint is in the water. Not too sure with the rest of Lumbermill. There they come to the right side there. Drupfili making his way with the UAZ straight in. Nope.
Straight into this rock.
Straight into this rock. And down he goes. He is nice and safe in the haven of that H2O. What can we say about this? Is it a bit too early to actually go for the water strat?
I mean, you have this amount of water in the middle. It is a safe play, and you can actually make it to the end game by going here. They just want to make their transitions later. This just means we're gonna have a lot more teams alive, and we're gonna have a lot more teams fighting later in the game. Kraken taking out.
There you go. So Ghost have made that move. Ronan don't necessarily have a lot of chances to survive. She's going to be Texas and Coldement. Now, Texas, clutch, very good player. Let's see if you can pull this one off, because Ghosts seem to want to push this one. Profi and Miko are the 2 designated marksmen that will attack the 2 gentlemen with the Japanese title. Let's see what happens here. Texas will leave the compound where a nade has been thrown. Takes the little cubby next to his friend. That means that effectively he will be able to trade, but a bit later on. Profi and Mikoi swap it around the backside there. Texas is eager to peek, and the battle ensued. We'll see Texas come out on top as he takes Mikoi down. Second one won't peek in, and might be a fast res happening, but Texas could potentially go and get Profi as well, and that's the plan indeed. But they're in the shack over Balak. Beautiful play here. Playing as the anchor will take his enemy down. Here comes Profi though to finish off Texas, and Coldement as well to lose HP, but he does take Profi down again. So there you go, Coldement, the last man standing from Ronan Esports, having the very difficult task of cleaning up, of flushing his enemies. And as soon as he peeks out, Mikoi's got some bullets with his name. And that's him down. That's going to be the end of Ronan Esports going down first.
Fantastic play by Ghost here. I don't think they should have taken the backside, though. They should have stayed with the side where they had two players covering them, because going around that backside there made them not being able to get cover from Turtle and Balak. Meanwhile, we see Blue pushing in here. He's going to push onto Profi and Mikoi here. They're still healing inside. Blue is aggressively taking shots.
They've got no idea what's happening here. Blue is going to be pumping in the shots there. It does look like they're falling down left and right. Center. As FlyQuest do indeed do the dirty damage there, and 2 guys from Ghost Gaming are 3 guys. Turtle's well knocked out as he tried to help out his teammates, or perhaps went for the loot. So it's just going to be Bollocks probably going in for the water. Now, the water strat does become valid because he's the last man standing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fantastic third party here by FlyQuest. Hearing those fight, it did take a lot. Oh no. Rogue taking out Hexeti. So they're out at that point right now. But I was going to say, third party from FlyQuest here, they did take a fight that took a long time. So FlyQuest did the right thing, pushing onto that and making that, holy wow, that is a swimming party right there. Making that push really valid, and that's super well played by them.
There you go. Just where the legs spread of this railroad, you can see a lot of dudes in.
Yep. Nova in a super strong position here on the flat top here, dead center.
Absolutely, that's a very good spot to try and get anybody in from the water.
Exactly. It did look like that all of them died, but we still have GMT alive. He has just been knocked.
Oh no.
Fuzzface is still alive as well.
That's it. It's just Fuzzface. Lockwood, in the meantime, takes GMT down. So Fuzzface, the last man standing from the FaZe lineup here. An unexpected turn of events, and an A close to him as well. A second knee does follow suit. I'm not too sure how far it is from Fuzzface. Doesn't look like it will connect. So he's just going to be peeking in with that Scar, just waiting for his enemy to peek from the other side. But Plybus doesn't want to take on this battle. We'll find a different spot to go into this one. Fuzzface with the Among Us moment. This is if he stays alive for more than 5 minutes from here, it'll just be at the grace of Crimson not pushing him.
It also looks like a Rogue here. They're holding a overlook position onto Crimson here. They're they're trying to keep them out from pushing them. They have a really good position in the Watertown where they can have overlook on this area here. So they're kind of keeping safekeeping Phosphorus right now.
Oh, nice shot from Froliker. Trifidi will go to very low HP. In the meantime, he's trying to capture as many as he can. But now he captures a bullet himself. So Interrogate watching that angle will be the one that takes Baja Waka down. No chance for Drez there, though it seems as he was in the water there. Trifidi as well falling down from Lumber Mill. It's going to be 3 alive left for that particular team. The UAZ is going to go boom. Let's see if Froliker is... I think Froliker, yeah, he's definitely safe at this moment in time. It's all about Interrogate here. And how many frags he can capture. Froliker does go down at the hands of Interrogate. Long range with that AR. That's a beautiful scar shoot.
Yeah, but they're down to... they have 2 knocked players right now. So Moody and Elusive have to make a big play here to make sure that Cloud9 is going to survive this. New Circle is going to pop, and it's going to go further south here, favoring Rogue and Nova again here, taking that compound somewhat early in second phase.
Absolutely. Watertown still valid. The compound where Nova is quite valid indeed, but not with Nova in it. And it does look like Na'Vi want to come close to that one there in the meantime. Teams will have to make their way from the north side of that circle. A lot of teams, FlyQuest, still to move south of the river. In the meantime, it looks like Elusive does indeed take Blue down, but Caden returns fire onto Froliker. So that's an unfortunate time right now for Cloud9. Froliker was knocked out himself, so that's a bit of a rip GG. I think Gaxi is the last man standing as well. Mirko was taken down earlier on, it seemed. So with Gaxi staying alive for Kinguin, this is indeed a hard time for the European lineup. And there you go, 18 seconds before we find out where the next circle is.
FaceClan, Ghost, Nolan Gaming, and Kinkwin, no, down to 1 guy that early. I mean, with this much water in, they could have survived much longer just going for the water straight off. But they did go for the fights. Ghost taken down to 1 guy only, and he's being fished right now. Balak we see on the map here. He's alone on the north, and the zone is slowly pushing it right now. So Flyker is going to gatekeep that area right now.
Absolutely. Balak might as well have a lot of meds on him because I don't think he's going to have a chance to stay alive for too long. There's something as well spots him in the water, so Lost is going to effectively try and hold him out. Let's see what happens. In the meantime, it does look like Interrogate has been brought down. MBS finds a frag on Voxing as well as Gustav from Lumbermill trying to stop Gaxi from entering the land. But he might have a little ridge to work with there if Gustav isn't watching, and this might be his moment to shine as he comes on land. Oh, just a little sliver of life left. He's going to have to go back into the water, but I don't think he's going to be alive as he has to go up for air. And Lumbermill are going to be there to catch him.
They're really gatekeeping the water here. It's also, I mean, taking some really good connections here. Moody have a really good position here, but they're going to take shots from nowhere right now. Have to go to the water and have to swim south here. But yeah.
Solid again knocked out. Solid again knocked out. It's going to be Moody and Elusive as it was before they got the res on Solid. Uba is going to be taken down by Richie here, it seems. Whilst the circle strangles in, you see Cloud9 trying to make their way on land, and that they do indeed. They have a little bit of a rock there, Elusive, so he does, but there's a lot of teams coming in from the backside of that beach. And it's not going to be... I don't know for how long Elusive can stay on his feet.
No, he's taking shots at loss here.
He's doing good.
Very good, yeah. Jumping into the water again. It's just going up and down, making sure you can try to gatekeep those guys and not get third-party by anybody else because you have so many guys in the water. Something taking some run here. Elusive connecting one.
Oh, no.
Elusive's down to 40% HP. He has to go for the water again. He lost his helmet. He did indeed lose his helmet here. A shot right to the face. And, yeah, going to go into the water again. FlyQuest down to 1 guy as well. And they have to move in again. We're going to see the new, and it's going to be Watertown. And still favoring Nova a bit. They still have the garage in there. So let's see what's happening here with Crimson Face as well, because they have to fight each other as well.
Yes, they do indeed. Fuzzface just holding by. It doesn't look like NBS has spotted him just yet. Oh, Fuzzface waiting for his moment. He would again much rather not take the shot, but use Crimson as a meat shield. So hopefully he doesn't get spotted and he's able to do that. And if not, it'll be a difficult time for him and his team. They haven't necessarily been showing us what they normally do when it comes to land. Oh, he's so patient. The trigger discipline, just waiting to take his pot shot there. Pi was on the top side there. Jambawi's going to be quick to retrade if that happens. NBS goes out in the blue to get the UAZ, so they might just avoid him. We'll see if they do. In the meantime, though, it does look like Nova are at it against the boys in the river.
I mean, also, if we saw Rogue gatekeeping still, and they had 2 guys in the south, they're still gatekeeping Crimson, making sure that they're not going to get crashed from that side. They really want to keep that side of the Watertown to themselves.
Yep.
Right now, have a really good strong grip on it. 2 guys on the top side and 2 guys on the southern side. So really good position from Rogue with one of the only teams being 4 guys alive. Nova being the other one having this super strong compound.
Absolutely. Wookie Bookie goes in fishing. There's some teams in there. Goes back and Drainus as well from Na'Vi. But it doesn't look like Nade will connect. Oh, Fuzzface does get up. And he gets spotted, but his enemies are trying to make an exit for it here. Fuzzface with a sliver of life left, and he's still alive somehow. I don't think he's going to be alive for too long, though, because Pybus spotted him. But Pybus now taking damage from Rogue. He's going to have to prone him behind that rock while his teammates are busy with other fights. Rogue versus Crimson now. And it does look like Fuzzface has been saved by that Rogue team. But unfortunately, he only has 2 bandages. 1 bandage left on 2 energy drinks, and that circle is strangling on him. But Richie does take Pybus down, which would have been in turn his primary point of contact here. He's got a chance at this.
Crimson is still looking towards Fuzzface here, so they're going to take him out there.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
NBS taking him out. So Rogue here still in a super strong position on the south. It looks like they just come together now, so they're just trying to have the south to themselves and then push into the next zone, making a really strong position here. And we're going to see some more teams dying to the zone here, or dying to the water, or dying to Lumbermill, which is currently gatekeeping that water side.
Absolutely. Drainus does get Balak down, so that's going to be goes gaming out of that one for the 10th spot. Fuzzface, last man standing, did get himself eliminated for 11th fourth phase. Shade. Oh, okay, so Shade is still into it. Okay, that is fair enough. Let's see what this young gent can do. In the meantime, Janssen cannot do too much. From No Loot Gaming, as we have to correct our fellow colleagues.
Yeah.
What was it? No Logic Gaming that they said or something?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. So No Loot Gaming, Janssen swimming around. He does have a sliver of water left in this one here. Gustav just waiting. Just baiting.
And he want to deny the kill here, so he's just going to go out. And
there you go. He doesn't. Oh, what a nice guy.
Okay, he did give the kill here. So 4 points more for Lumbermill.
And they have the circle.
And they have a good circle here for them. Shoot to kill in a super strong position as well. Rogue also in a good position, trying to make a move in here as well. While we have 8 teams left and 20 players live.
This is dangerous for Rogue. You saw it all throughout this game. Teams have avoided this water like the plague. You move slow in it. So that means that you're open, exposed heavily to enemy teams looking at you. That's why Rogue are taking their time, and they don't necessarily have another choice but to go inside this water. Luckily, though, there's not a lot of teams looking at them at this very moment in time, so they do get themselves a compound. There are some ways to climb to parkour on top. Ooh, Shade from Na'Vi. Just close by, does capture Richie down, but soon enough he will be traded. It does look like Nerf Me Please will take him down. That will be him out of the match. Not too sure how many left alive from his team, but here comes Lumbermill with a great smoke against Pentalaw.
Yeah, shoot to kill. They have a good position here, but there's also a lot of teams that want to make their new home in this small side of the water town right here. They have a small house, but they have to push in because of the circle right now.
Absolutely. Caden stuck inside a house here with his teammates, tries to find some enemies that would come in, but nobody's actually. No, that's on Civils. Do they even know? Does he even know what's up? It doesn't look like he's got any idea.
No.
And Civil's just on the other side of the door. He must have heard him now.
Wonder if they...
What?
Caden has just moved in, and
Okay.
Drainus is downstairs as well. So it's basically 3 teams sharing this house. This is
It is Drainus as well.
Friendly house.
That is what it is. Caden is...
New roomies right now.
That's it. But Civils does fire off against Wookie Bookie from Lumbermill. Kate now hidden behind a tree as well as Gustav. That means that Caden know exactly what's going on here, but he's not opening that door. They're playing as teammates, so it seems. They're not even peeking one another. The way they're
just shooting.
play as pals. There goes another one from Lumbermill. Kane being chopped down.
Caden must have heard Uncivils taking these shots here. He must have think it's downstairs, and Uncivils, he can hear him shooting. They took shots at the same player.
Absolutely.
Now giving the info here on Civils. STK is looking at Caden here, looking at Drainus as well. 6 teams alive and 12 players left.
Yes, indeed. Caden now has just the corner of the circuit, but the next one he's going to have to get out of that situation. In the meantime, Uncivils gets taken down by Jazza trying to make his way out. Still, though, Shoot to Kill are staying strong. They could get the rest. Nope, they won't. Jazza does finish Uncivils. It does look like Shoot to Kill are going to be closing that door. They know exactly where Caden is there. A need would be perfect, but a need isn't found for Pentalog here, it seems. There you go, 6 teams. That's a beautiful aerial here. Rogue have it a very good chance at this one as well. Being 4 strong, they definitely have a good chance.
Yeah, they need to play this calm and steadily cleaned all the areas, making sure that no player is going to backstab them, because they really want to be 4 guys alive, obviously, for the rest of the match. A lot of these, we have so many. We have 3 solos. Envious, Lumbermill, Navi, soloing here. But if Rogue makes a good decision here, taking a strong position here, they're gonna be in a really strong position to take this win.
Yes, indeed. Drain is now at the bottom side of the building here, waiting for his moment to jump out, and there goes the circle, strangling on him. It is coming indeed, so he's going to have to get out there. Keaton took so much shot. Look at the blue coming close to him. Does he have enough time to pop the first aid kit? Barely so, it seems. But he will have time to take Drainus down, so that's going to be another one. Another team eliminated as Keaton does fall at the hands of Adam Dids. And that's going to be Adam, hero of the day, rezzing his fallen teammate Pentalol, as they will try to make their way past this little room into the safety of the next circle, where they should be. Rogue still staying strong, playing this one slow.
Gustav as well, also on the edge. He's just going to try to sneak his way in here. Even
one shot.
Yeah, that was close.
One shot is all it's needed, because his enemy doesn't have a helmet, and that's an Aki.
Yeah.
That's an insta-kill.
Gustav snaking on the northern side here, trying to make his way in. Rogue still 4 guys alive.
It's this guy. It's 80. That's actually 86 HP. Yeah. It's I have never seen this circle.
Nope. It's a great circle. Yeah. Gustav is really it's really a lurker position right here. He sees him knocking him out. So that's a knock for them as well. So Nova is down to 1 guy as well with that knock. Shoot to kill 2 guys alive.
Yeah, and I don't
Rogue in a super strong position right now. 4 guys alive with that. This is the last circle as well. So they got another knock. Penta's gonna try to get Adam up again, and Landoon is gonna try to get his teammate up as well. Let's see what's going to happen here.
This is the time for Rogue to become a bit more proactive.
They really need to push this one.
Yeah,
Once they saw these knocks, they should just push one side right now.
Exactly, but they don't, so they allow their enemies to get back to full health.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going to occur. This is the final circle, mind you guys at home, and we will soon see a star popping up on the screen. That is exactly where the circle is going to end.
Nice nade right there.
That's a beautiful nade.
That's a nade, yeah.
That's Landoon staying alive on himself, or by himself. This is where Rogue, again, should be pushing out, but they just want to make sure that they secure this victory. They don't necessarily know. They should know at this moment in time that this is a 2v2, because they saw 2 guys knocked out from the other team. Exactly. They're looking at the people alive, so they should know that this is a 2v2 and them in the play. They know exactly where their enemies are. They're just waiting for that final star to pop off. Can you tell us a little bit about that star? I
mean, this star, you have 3 minutes of wait, and then it goes into a really fast circle, a lot of damage, and it's going to shrink into indefinite.
It's a little tiny pixel.
A little tiny pixel, yeah. So basically a little star is going to go on the map, and it's favoring anybody on the map as well. We have been talking about how you can change this, and we're actually testing some out as well in the scrims. Pretty exciting as well, if you can make this a bit more exciting. Of course, this is 3 minutes of bare waiting, and Rogue is really in a position where I feel like they should be proactive right now, because when the star pops, it can really go into a much more of an RNG kind of ending.
Here's what they're thinking, though. I see you in here having 4 painkillers. Yeah. So I'm assuming that his teammates have just about the same amount of boosters. And they're thinking we can play the boost game. You can see they're already full boosted. They're going to boost this the minute that they can, the minute that they see the circle of the star pop up. And they're thinking we're going to play the slow game, let these guys finish each other, and we're going to win by default by staying alive, basically. Yeah. If we can. But that's all about the star, I guess, at this point in time. Always fun to watch it come down to this. Yeah. But no, honestly, it is a good circle. I've actually never seen a circle end so close to Watertown. I've seen it end on the other side of Watertown, on the south side, but I've never seen it end here, actually.
I remember we had one game some time ago with where FaZe was here as well, and it actually ended in inside Watertown, where people could swim inside Watertown. Yeah. Kind of fun ending as well. FaZe did end up taking that. But Rogue here just playing it out slowly. Nova has split up to two sides of the circle, trying to make sure that they get favored at that point. Shoot to kill is really in a hard position right here. They're in a house, and unless it's gonna end straight on them, they have to make the first move.
Yes, they have to do indeed. And there you go. 10 seconds left, and it seems to be to the side of Rogue. They're getting all sorts of good luck. It's just kind of between them and Shoot to kill. And Landoon already making some sort of a side move here. It does look like the circle is going to strangle in here. Rogue is going to be holding on to their position. They don't need to move forward now. It does look like Nova Locknarb has been taken down. So that's just going to be one guy left from Shoot to kill. It's going to be Adam Dids trying to out-heal himself for this one here, but it's not going to work out. It is the GG and the chicken dinner for the Rogue team. coming up through with the waiting game, and it was all worth it, Martin.
It was indeed. They only lost Ewan to some fighting in the end, and he got knocked by the zone afterwards because he does so much damage. But yeah, these
Jazza, a
guys.
true Irishman. I want to say this one. Jazza is a true Irishman.
He is indeed, and a nice lad, young, talented player indeed.
He is, yeah. That was a good game. That was a great game coming up from Rogue there, and they showed us the prowess and sometimes the efficiency of playing it slow.
Yep.
There was a time where they could have pushed. There was a time where they could have made their plays, of course, by being proactive, but they chose to stay alive. And we kind of figured it out because of their boosting capabilities. They have plenty of painkillers and whatnot. So they actually chose the smart side of things in this duel. That will see them get the GG and the chicken dinner for the 6th game. But we got 2 more matches remaining, don't we?
Yep.
That we do.
Coming up very soon.
Yes, indeed, that we have. But yeah, it was really, really, really great to see this match. Let's hear what the pros have to say about it.
I'm
think?
definitely not a professional PUBG player. We only have one on the desk.
Exactly.
We have a pro CSGO or CS source.
Wait, what?
No, we have Pro CS
What did he
over
just
there.
say?
Don't tell. It's okay. Let it go. Let it go. Let it. Narty, please. We need to run the show.
He's dead to me.
Andy, what do you have to say about what Boogie just threw over to you and what happened in that matchup?
As we saw again, it was a water circle. Basically, we saw a lot of people losing members early in the phase itself. I think Lumber Mill and Nova did well holding the water constantly, the B side. Basically, just keeping people out of it, constantly trying to pick their free kills. It was a tough circle in that end, basically, because anybody who was on Rosshawk's side, they had only open zone to basically rotate, which meant that's why all the people were stacked up on the Watertown. I haven't seen Watertown ending like ages either. So all the teams were stacked down there. I think Rogue played it well in that point that it was pretty risky that there were so splits in the Watertown in one point of the match, but they gathered together and hold it up into the end and not go for the kills. Now we probably would have, like as we've seen in the top 5 situation, but Rogue just waited and waited and waited till they have the 100%, chances to just pick people up where it goes.
With regards to waiting, it looked like this match was perhaps the most passive we've seen today out of the 6. Narty, what do you think?
I'm going to be honest here and say the one element that I am not a great fan of in the game is the salmon in the river thing that happens when you have the circle as it was. We had plenty of players just literally pretending to be a fish. And it's a mechanic that rewards you. You can go and take shots and then go back into the water, use that as cover and such. So I'm not really sure. I don't have a solution per se on how it could be fixed.
Go fishing?
It's tough. Fishing is
The harpoons,
well,
I put that out there.
yeah.
The harpoons?
It's always tough, like in that kind of situation when there's river, basically the rotations are always tough. And we see teams losing members early, and there's going to be more and more and more solo or duo players there, and they're like using the water to just advance till the end of the game. But those people that basically get the circle, they manage to passively stay as 4, and it will reward them in the end itself. But every time you need to cross a bridge or you need to cross the river, it's always like really high risk.
Before we continue talking a bit more and take a look at the standings, Kelly is now with one of the winning players from Rogue. It's Yannick, also known as YNCK.
That's right. I got Yannick right here joining me from Rogue. Congratulations on your win right there. And something that the casters were just talking about, or the analysts, I should say, is that when you see this is the second map that's essentially a water map, what do you and your team plan to do, and how are you figuring out your rotations once you see that?
Yeah, we were thinking about the circle will shift north, and we were prepared for that, so we went close to the water, south, to just swim across. We also had our cars with us, so we thought about, doing either a wide rotation or just swim to the other side. But then it shrunk to us 3 times, so we were kind of lucky. We had really bad circles, so I think a bit of luck was needed.
Yeah, there is a portion of RNG into this, but you guys also play very passively in that. What was the decision there to not play aggressively, try and get more kills, instead just kind of stay into the Watertown?
Because at the last event we played, we lost a lot of people during these splits we did to get kills. I think we played completely wrong, and we're trying to do that here better, and I hope it works out.
Yeah, going into this game, you still have 10 games left, actually, 2 today and 8 tomorrow. How are you feeling about how you're doing so far, and what are your plans for Miramar tomorrow to keep that going?
I mean, we do play as we do online, and this is right now it's not that good. We have some games where we do really well, and some games where we just end up 15th, 16th. We had a 12th place, a 15th, and a 16th. And I mean, if you want to compete and be the best teams, we need to be in the top 10 like every game, or win a bit more. So I think we have to step up and be a bit more consistent.
Is that because everyone here is just so even, or is it something on you guys that maybe you're jet lagged or there's something that's going wrong?
I think we do a lot of small mistakes. No, a lot of mistakes in rotation. They are not small because they make us end up in a really bad position. So I think, yeah, the bigger thing is the rotations and losing players to the rotations.
Well, Yannick, is there anything that you want to say to fans of Rogue?
Yeah. Thank you for supporting us. I know we have a lot of dedicated fans coming from Arma 3BR. Also, just thanks to my real life friends who cheer for me. Thanks to my family and every other involved. And let's hope for some more wins for us, I guess.
Well, good luck in these next 2 games coming up. And everyone, don't go anywhere because we're heading back to Pala.
Thank you, Kelly.
I feel like he should have just thanked his cat, you know, and everyone else, all the animals in his.
What about the dogs? You were a dog man earlier today.
Dogs as well.
Yeah. Yannick, I think, is mentioning a little kind of bit of information there that's good to know, where he said he's come from, I think maybe you mentioned his teammates as well, come from Arma 3BR. So, Andy, which players would you say are the strongest at the moment? Is it just new blood that's come to PUBG and focused on it, or people that have experience in other BRs?
I come from Arma as well.
Yeah.
A lot of really good IGLs and tactical players come from Arma. And basically, there's a lot of good shooters itself. You don't need to have that much FPX experience. You'll learn this game pretty fast. But when it comes to like having all those good abilities, like tactical movement and having that little bit more bigger picture than just a scope, I think Arma has been like basically you grow through Arma. So really hard to say in English.
It's like training ground, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just the general the way of thinking in the game, decision making, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, it helps when you've played different VR games before that share similar ideas or just basically the logic of how the game plays, right? So it only is obvious that those would help you going into a game like PUBG. But in the long run, that will even out, you know, and
it will even
as the meta
100%.
will progress and become, you know, the game itself will evolve. So it would not. It only matters in the early stage. It's the same with Counter-Strike in the beginning. CS4's players, because of the game mechanics, were in an advantageous position in CS:GO because they were so different from 1.6. So in the same manner, you know, you can think the same thing here.
Yeah, so when you were playing Counter-Strike Source, Natu, what was it like?
I did actually play 2 months of it, so yes, I did.
2 months of it?
Yeah, I played a tournament.
Okay.
But yeah, for BOOGIE as well, it's in 1.6 where it's at, so...
Exactly. You are a ardent 1.6 veteran. You deserve all the credit you get for it. Now, I would like to just talk about the ending of that game slightly as we bring up the leaderboard shortly. It seemed as though everybody was as tentative as they've been throughout the 6 matches we've seen.
Yeah.
Do you not feel like, and I know you guys have said that it's not necessarily the case, but to me, it looks like aggression really could be rewarded if people have some more initiative.
I mean that's what the guys were first saying as well. You know, that the proactiveness would have been something you'd expect from Rogue in that position, especially since the last circle or the little star that comes in, it's a random spot, right? So all of a sudden there could be in a situation if 1 or 2 of them gets knocked because the circle is going to be shrinking, you know, away from them faster. Or away from them, then you know they'd be basically in a situation where things could be turning around instead, because they were the only one that had a full man squad, so you would have expected them to be taking initiative.
But you cannot forget the fact that every single time, as we've seen here, every single time if you go aggressive in that kind of situation and you get knocked, and then the other team hears that, they're gonna use it, and basically suddenly 4 guys can be 1 guy in 10 seconds.
Indeed. Now we have the overall leaderboard on screen showing current standings after 6 matches, and it's Na'Vi that are reigning supreme. FaZe have dropped down to 6, but let's not forget, you know, if there's a 100-point gap between you guys, technically, depending on where everyone else finishes, you could even that up quite a bit by getting that first place finish and a bunch of kills.
Yeah, to point out, we've not seen Lumbermill win a game. I don't think Nova has won a game, have they? So still they're up on top of the rankings because of the consistency.
Well, Na'Vi is the one that has two wins, and that's the reason why they're number 1 there right now.
Indeed, indeed. And we still have 2 more games to go today to see if Na'Vi or anyone else can further stamp their dominance. We're only going to leave shortly now for about 3 minutes, and we'll see you back here for Game 7.